In this question, we're being asked if the temperature increases by 2.10 kelvins, how much does the temperature increase in Fahrenheit? And the change in every this for every change in every that is the sound of slope. So it's really valuable to be able to describe slope that way. And what this question here is what we call a translating slope question. In other words, we're given an expression that may or may not be the slope, and we need to kind of figure out if that's what it really is. So first, we would want to distribute that 9/5. And we don't really even need the complicated numbers here. So distributing right here, we get 9/5 x. Distributing here, we have 9/5 times 273.15. And distributing here, we have 9/5 times 32. Now, all of this stuff here is just the b of the y equals mx plus b. And the reason it's all associated together is because there's no x anywhere in there. But we see now more clearly that the 9/5 is our slope. And we're trying to figure out, is the thing that they're asking us about here, is that the slope or not? So translating slope says you start with saying to yourself, or slope is the change in y over change in x. So you start by saying slope is change in y over change in x, and then you plug in the y from this question and the x from this question. So the y from our question is the f of x, which is the temperature in Fahrenheit. So change in y is change in the temperature Fahrenheit, and the change in the x is the change in the temperature Kelvin, because they're telling us that x is the Kelvin. So change in y over change in x is the change in Fahrenheit over change in Kelvin. And that is 9/5, because we were told that the slope is 9/5. So now the question is saying if the amount of Kelvin changed by 2.10. So let's just go ahead and put a 2.10 in for the amount of Kelvin. What is going to be the change in Fahrenheit, which let's call it F. I don't want to use the letter X here because we already have an X in this situation. And so now we have a proportion that we can solve. We can say 9/5 equals F over 2.10. So now we can cross multiply this. We can say 5 times F equals 9 times 2.1. So that's 5 times F equals 9 times 2.1, which is 18.9. Now F is being multiplied by 5, so we should divide it by 5, and 18.9 divided by 5 is 3.78, and that matches answer choice A in this question.